We're just trying to dial that in.
Yeah. Well, if we got to switch it up, let me know.
You guys are really cool dudes. Hey, so guys, we only have about 4 on here today, but it always grows and gets bigger. But so I wanted to bring a special treat to you guys today, and where we're going to be bringing in teams and team leaders and top producing agents and all that, and kind of hear what's their secret sauce, what are they doing. So today I had a chance to invite in what's your team name?
Tulare Real Estate Team.
Tulare Real Estate Team. I was going to say the Frogger team. I don't know why. I'll go brain fart. Come on now. So these guys, I'm telling you, in California have been just doing amazing things. I get crazy excited. I can't not look at it when I see something on Facebook, just because you guys you're doing it. You're doing the things that in a tough market where others aren't. So just tell me about it. What's the secret sauce? What's going on? What are you guys doing that's making things work?
I think for us, the biggest thing is just showing up to the office every day. What's one of the things I know I learned when I first got in the business? If you show up, opportunities arise, it doesn't happen when you're chilling at home. So that's one of my favorite things about our little core group is we all show up every day.
Yeah.
Sometimes our days aren't as productive. Sometimes they are, but at least we're showing up and getting it going.
You're going to work.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, but it's not work when it's fun, right?
Yep.
And when you have friends getting together, it's not work anymore. It's more like just a way of life.
Yeah.
It is. And having a team atmosphere where we're all helping each other and we're all on the same path and goals. I mean, I've been solo, I've had my own team in the past, and I've been on teams, and being on a team is just second to none in my opinion.
Yeah. Especially when you guys all think alike. Because now you guys are just a bunch of business partners coming together for the better of the team.
I think that's important too, because I've been on teams too in the past too as well, or been around them where they don't have the same path or same goals and same mindsets, and it goes a long ways to be around a group that's thinks similar and wants the same things. It goes a long ways.
Yeah.
And it's good to check each other's mindsets too. Like this morning, we're talking about a lot of people, you talk to a lot of agents right now and they're like, oh, it's a slow time of the season, which transactionally it is, but I was like, well, let's change. I pulled up the MLS and I saw that there was 25 new listings in the past 24 hours. There was 18 listings that went pending. It's like there's business being done every day. There's no reason we can't be doing it. Or whoever's watching can't be doing it.
Constantly working together, monitoring things, seeing what's going on. So it makes it seem like, shoot, what can we be doing different? So looking for that. For what it takes.
I think another thing we actually talked about this morning too, we oftentimes attach success to the outcomes rather than attaching it to the actions every day. Wow. And that's something that we've been like really preaching over the last few months. And we've been doing so well because we've been attaching our success to actions rather than outcomes, because oftentimes we can't control the outcomes, but we control what we do on a daily basis. And that's, however form a lead gen. We love cold calling, like mailers, and those are the things we control every day. So the outcomes can't control that every day.
No.
But we're just trying to get in front of the people that need our help. Right.
Oh man, that is like preaching. Can you like be with me on all my coaching calls? Because people are tired of hearing me. I think, dude, you said it so good. And the coolest thing about what you just said though is that you did it and you recognized it, right? Yes. And that's usually so hard for people to see, that the end result is the lag measure, or the what we call it, the ABI or the RBI, the result of our lead or what we do, our activities. And we can never control that. Like you can only control it by focusing on the lead, and that's the only way you'll ever somewhat control that. But it's never going to be fully controlled, because you never know. Right. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. Maybe they're always excited to buy, and then they never do buy because they don't have the income or the job, and they dreamed of it, right? Right. So all we can do is control the continuing meeting new people. Right. So what are you guys doing to do that? What's your secret sauce? What's your goals? What is it that you like? You talked about, door knocking and cold calling, stuff like that, but you guys are doing more. Serving, you're part of a lot of groups. Tell me about all that. Yeah, I think at least I'm going on 7 years now. I've been kind of a one-trick pony my whole career, and that's kind of cold calling. That's been my focus throughout my career, and it's done well for me.
I've been over in SLO for the last 4 years, and then partnered up, joined Jacob's team this year. And one thing I liked about Jacob, we kind of, our lead gen and how we've done business, kind of the polar opposites in a way. I've been more kind of like the cold calling aspect, and one thing I admired about Jacob, he's out, doing events, shaking hands, and he's done obviously really great in his career. So that's kind of something why I joined and partnered up with Jacob, is just to do those, outside, get into the community and stuff. And I think that's something that's been a game changer for us as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no,
That's
it's
so cool. Yeah,
I'm the
I noticed right
opposite.
away he's part of so many groups, and
Yeah.
and he
Too many.
enjoys it though. You like it.
Yeah, too many, but it's it's
Yeah.
fun. It's fun. This morning I forgot to put on my calendar. I had a downtown association meeting at 7:30.
Oh
But
wow.
still got there.
There's a
Still got
downtown
it.
association.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that I'm on
Is it
the
just
board.
like all business owners and stuff got together and created an association, or has it been there
No,
for
it's
years?
like it's been there for years. It's a nonprofit that kind of takes care of a bunch of stuff in downtown. All of the people that are on the board are business owners in downtown, so it's cool to get to talk to them and see what their stuff is.
I mean, there's no better way to do business to business relationships than with the ones right there in your core group downtown.
Yep.
I
Exactly.
mean, if they, I mean, obviously they want you to send them business, so
Yeah.
reciprocate it, send me some business.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So how often do you guys meet?
Once a month for just the general meetings, and then if we have events that we're throwing, we'll put together committees or little task force that will help run
Little
those
downtown events and stuff.
Yeah, so we had the annual banquet at Rancho Brazil a couple months back. We're working on the Christmas parade right now, so that'll be sweet. And that one's gonna be fun because I'm getting asked to be on a couple of different ones. The chamber wants me to be on their float, but I'm like, I wanted to do one this year for the team,
Yeah.
And then I think we did one last year as a brokerage.
Yeah,
So
it was awesome.
it's just
Well, you're doing it this year too.
Okay.
They're doing the Visalia one, the
Nice.
brokerage. So, but
nice.
we'll do the Tulare one too. You
Yeah.
just gotta
Yeah, I'll get all
facilitate it.
the
They're gonna have the float
I'll get all the
ready.
info.
So
Yeah, I can
might-
pull it.
Might
I
as well
can
pull it over here
yeah.
to say, don't touch it.
Yeah.
Don't tear it down. We need
Yeah.
it.
And then
That's
even
awesome.
just like outside of shaking hands at those events and stuff too, just knowing what's going on in the community, it's another form of being able to reach out to our SOI or, our follow-ups, hey, this is going on. So that's kind of a big thing, because Jacob's on the board of Tulare Chambers as well. And so we go to all those events and we're able to talk to people about what's coming. And a lot of people don't know this stuff. So it's cool to have those conversations too as well.
Yeah, I've seen you guys doing the chamber ribbon cuttings all over, and so I mean, when all those business owners, when this office here, we did the ribbon cutting, they all showed up here. I didn't know all these guys, but they're coming in, introducing themselves, handing me business cards. It's infectious.
It's really cool.
It's pretty neat to get to do that. So now you get firsthand a new business partner added to your database that you can keep in touch with and follow up with. Do you ever get to do one-on-ones with any of these groups, any of these businesses?
Just like regular relationship wise, nothing like scheduled, but if we're at one of the events, I'll end up either pulling them aside or getting to talk to them one-on-one and just get to know them better.
Here's something, I'll just add it to your database of tools of Arson. So I'm part of a BNI group, and BNI is huge nationally. I don't think there's one here in this local area. Someone maybe needs to start a chapter. It's amazing. Like, it's really good. What they do is you go in there, you guys meet every week, or usually some in the morning, some in the afternoon, sitting around a table, all these different businesses you can only have one in each one type of that business. So only one real estate company, only one
That's cool.
a lender. There's contractors, plumbers, and they have a big list of people for you to try to seek out and recruit into the event, into your group. And that, what it does is it creates this amazing, those guys are selling a lot of business, doing a lot of jobs from construction, all within that group. Well, the cool part about it is every week they meet and they go around and they get to all stand up and do a quick commercial, 60-minute commercial. And then the visitors get to come in and do a quick commercial. And then if you have a substitute come in, they get to do your commercial and then their own commercial if someone's subbing for you, because you have to get a sub if you're not going to be there.
Right.
And then someone gets to get up and present for 10 minutes, a presentation on what they do, what they're looking for, what the best referral they'll have for themselves. And then they have these little slips on the table that are one-on-one slips. So if somebody said something in the room and you want to have one-on-one coffee with them,
That's
fill
cool.
it, you pass it around, it goes around to them.
Oh, wow.
During the week, I think I've got 2 or 3 coffee appointments set up
Wow,
almost each week with new businesses that I haven't met before.
that's
I've
awesome.
got one set up next week with a reverse mortgage guy.
Wow.
So it's a really cool group. I mean, just a suggestion in these groups you're
Yeah.
in is, you know, start considering one-on-ones with them. It's infectious. It really does kind of tie in your relationship-based business too with these businesses. So there you go.
I like that.
Give you one without you
Yeah.
giving it to me. There you go. So kind of tell me some of the events you guys have been doing. So I know the soup thing you did recently. I saw that on social media, and you're taking the important part of the event is taking pictures.
Yeah.
So you have it for your social media stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. That,
What are the important ones for you that you want to hit during the year?
one of the things I tried implementing a while back, and we did it for a little bit on one of the previous teams I was on, is just always being generous and giving, whether, and it's not always, it doesn't always have to be financially, it can be with our time. And I feel like the busier we get, the more valuable it is when we do give our time.
Yeah.
So Salt and Light's always been a cool one. We went over there, and it's the first time we went and served them in a few years, but every year we try to do a water drive in the summertime because it gets hot. So we'll collect waters. It's a good touch point for clients to say, hey, we're doing this community event, and just
Sometimes
inviting
get clients and
exactly
yeah, that's
inviting past clients or leads to be a part of something bigger than themselves and something bigger than us, because everybody, our human nature, we like to help. That's one thing I learned when I was getting into sales is we like to help, and if you ask people for help, they'll usually say yes. So inviting people in to do those things makes it bigger. It makes the relationship stronger, and it keeps you forefront of mind too. But at the end of the day, those are all benefits. The main thing is just being able to give. And once we collect all the waters, water drive is done, we'll either go hand them out ourselves to the homeless neighbors in our community, or we'll go find organizations like Lighthouse or Salt and Light to give and let them be the hands and feet, depending on where we're at
There you
time
go.
wise.
Getting other nonprofits involved.
Yeah, so just
Cool.
cultivating the relationships, but just trying to do something regularly and scheduled. That way it stays top of mind and is still a priority as one of the core values. We've even gone and just packaged up food before for the Salvation Army for whenever they give out food for Thanksgiving too. So
That's cool.
I want to work one of their Thanksgiving lunch things one time. It's just a little harder when you have kids.
Oh yeah.
So once they get older, I think we'll be able to hop in on that.
Oh yeah, all together, whole family thing. That's cool.
So just trying to lead in the community that way too. And that's the cool thing about real estate is it can be the vessel to help us give a lot more and make differences.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
what I haven't done yet is I haven't even said what your full names are. So how about this? Tell me your full name and then tell me like what's your big why? Why do you do this? Why do you do real estate? Why do you do this job? What's your driving force? What's your big why? So just say your full name so everybody knows who you are and then your area you guys service. There you go. 3 things: area, service, name, and your big why.
Jacob Fraga, service mainly Tulare County, but we'll go outside of that to Kings, Fresno, and Kern. Sometimes Central Coast, but that's this guy's specialty. And big why, when I first got in, it was probably the same as everybody's: make a lot of money. That's
pretty common.
Yeah, pretty common. But I feel like as you grow as a person and in your career, it always evolves and shifts. So from that, it became, okay, let's build something that will be bigger than me for my family and future family, kids and kids' kids. So leaving that legacy, because it's one of the things you can do where there's no cap on what you can make. You can make as little as you want, you make as much as you want.
Totally.
And some months there are zeros, just zeros. But that's the risk we take, but I think right now, the big why is still to build a legacy for my family so I can spend more time with them doing what we want to do and get to a point where we can work for fun, not because we have to.
Yeah.
And just make a positive impact in our community as well through serving our clients and utilizing the resources we gain from doing so to making different changes, whether it's upgrading buildings downtown, helping other businesses come
That's
in,
been a big one you guys have been doing.
sponsoring
That downtown looking good.
sponsoring the amphitheater renovation too, so we can get really cool concerts that brings a few thousand people downtown, which brings revenue to the businesses.
So awesome. Yeah.
I think just, yeah, I rambled, but
No, that was good, man.
building up a legacy and
Mhm.
changing our community for the better.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah. Austin Melezzo. I served Tulare County and the Central Coast. I was at the Central Coast for the last 4 years full time. Moved back to Tulare County. Been here for about March or so. So I do both counties. Been doing real estate for about 7 years.
Awesome.
My big why, I mean, outside of just, changing my family's generation, just setting my future family up. I mean, I think that's a huge why. Just serving people. I know it's kind of cliche, but I've noticed throughout my career, the more I'm focused on transactions and going into calls or lead gen, as in, I'm trying to get a sale, or, my sales and transaction actually dip in that way.
Totally.
And so going into every day, like, I'm here to help people that need help and could use my help.
Awesome.
And it's oftentimes, even, as far as commission goes, even ones that I don't make much money on feel the best because
Holy
of the
mackerel, yeah.
situation, that I was able to help.
Especially
them,
if you were able to give back so they can reach their
right.
goal of owning a home, and you're able to give them and help them. Holy mackerel, you were part of the purchase process now.
Yeah.
So man, that's the best pay ever.
It is. And that feeling is second to
Love
none. That's why I love real estate. So that's my why.
That's so good, man. I love it. And this guy, 20 years old, right?
20, yeah.
Dang, love it.
I'm Carson Sapien in Tulare County. And yeah, just getting started. So my big why, I'm still not figuring it out, but I mean, obviously, like, when I got into it, like, kind of was like, I want to make money and I want to do this. But like, after my first sale, like, obviously the check is great, but like giving keys and like hearing people be grateful and just like super excited to get into a house, like that was way better than actually getting the check. So
Totally.
like that's the best part.
Well, a lot of people say like your big why is their family and stuff like that, and they want to just be able to show their family and their kids. You don't have that yet, right?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not
It
yet.
could be happening someday. It might be sooner than later. So, I mean, your big why, I mean, if you think about it, it could be my future legacy, like you said, I mean, so your big why sounds like you're starting to shift there already into wow. And you're part of a team that's serving like mad. So I think you might already have your why. That's pretty good. How many families have you been able to serve so far?
A couple. So two right now, and then
just getting
hopefully
going.
A lot more.
Our first one fell through. It's kind of like my first one too.
Oh man, it's not uncommon.
Yeah.
It kind of teaches you what it feels like, so you can get that out of the way.
Oh yeah.
And it went real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my very first ones, I think of it all the time, and it fell through. And I don't know if that young lady ever bought a house. I think it was such an ugly situation and it just near destroyed me, because I was like, I cannot believe that happened. It wasn't my fault.
Yeah,
It was a lender's fault.
Similar.
Fortunately, it was just choosing the wrong lender, and these lender partners we have, they're huge partners of ours. Having that one that knows what they're doing and taking care of them and treats your clients like you treat your clients, holy mackerel. That was such a huge transition to me to understand that concept of business relationships.
Oh
Yeah, no doubt.
Lenders are so important in our life.
It is.
That's awesome.
Because any little, bad taste in a transaction could, affects the buyer or the sellers, so much, going forward. Often we think it's just our responsibility as an agent to make it go smooth, but it's people we surround ourselves with, the lenders, escrow team, title team. It all goes, so much further.
Yeah.
Well, at the end of the day, they're a reflection of us too. If you're recommending this person, then, and they, like you said, leave a sour taste.
Who do they end up blaming?
Yeah.
You.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when a client comes, it's so important for us to get that education out there, since this is going to end up being, it's live on YouTube right now. It'll be on Facebook to all of our people out there we know and friends, the importance of calling your agent and letting them lead you to the path of purchasing by getting you in touch with the preferred lender that they've met with. They're not getting anything off the lender. It's a relationship, it's the knowledge, it's the wisdom. And so that's why we recommend you always call us agents first,
Yeah.
and let us set you up so we can set up for success, not failure.
That's
So
good.
good. So is there anything like you want to just get out there about, what does the brokerage mean to you? I know you guys have all been part of Legacy now for a bit, and Legacy kind of aligns with the way you're doing it, that it's about community, and we really want to serve the community and look for new ways. I mean, from serving the agents, from doing, pumpkin patch for free for the agents, to pumpkin pie giveaways that we're doing right now. It seems like it aligns a little bit. What does that mean to you guys? Be part of something like Legacy?
Yeah, for me, it's funny because the name hits it on the head too, like wanting to leave a legacy for our family. And when I did go out to find where I wanted to start my team, I met with you guys, and I didn't even go anywhere else. It just felt right. Feels like family, and that's kind of the feel I wanted to be around, is family, local, and community driven versus big corporate monster where we're shipping our money to
Yeah.
different parts of the country. So
That's
uh,
good.
I really enjoyed that, and I like all of the resources, the trainings, and all the stuff that we have at our disposal that we don't fully utilize, but we know when we do, it'll
Yeah, it's there.
take off.
Yeah,
Exactly.
totally.
Yeah, I've been on, in my 7 years, I've been on three, this is my third brokerage, and over in the past, I've never really looked for anything, or never really received anything from brokerages, as far as benefits to me personally. And just joining Legacy, I mean, you hit it on the head. It's the family atmosphere, and just knowing that I've been, situations with brokerages where it's just toxic, really competitive. And it just wasn't a good feeling. Not that I'm depending on my brokerage for my deals, but just that feeling goes a long ways. The support, the resources are also second to none from what I got in the past. So it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that the other day. It's been enjoying to be with Legacy.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Very cool. I would say it's good to, and we've got a brokerage. You got some people on here that are at Homes of Idaho and Idaho, and our partnership with Homes of Idaho. It's the reason why we did that is we are picky with agents too. Like, we just want to make sure we're not bringing in somebody that's going to cause that toxic environment. There have been people we've been like, it's not a good fit for our company, and Homes of Idaho in line with us completely, and they're the same way. They really feel like we want just a big family. I mean, from doing parades, like entering into parades so we can serve the community, and saying, hey, we want all the agents to come be able to use this as an opportunity to pass out flyers and meet people. We're constantly trying to find new ways to spend the money wisely to help serve the agents who can serve the communities, or just go direct to the communities. And it really has to be a family environment. And then big corporate brokerages out there tried to mimic this, tried to make it work, and some of them have and some of them haven't. And it only takes one bad apple to kind of really destroy that. So we got to be really careful with it. But I'm telling you, I have been part of so many different teams and different brokerages, and I'll say that I've never felt this way before. Like, I felt, I have, but only on like a team. Because if it's a good culture team, not a corporation trying to make a ton of money. And that's what Legacy is, and that's what Homes of Idaho is. That we're not companies trying to make a bunch of money. We're companies trying to make an impact in the community. And if the focus is right, and not on the deal, not on the next escrow, but on the next relationship, man, it's so much fun. It just makes doing life together so good.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, it's cool because, like, I mean, I'm kind of different than you guys. I didn't go anywhere else. I came straight here. Like, I'm just getting started, and just like coming in fresh, brand new, and going to like brokerage meetings, and like having my brokers come and want to have conversations with me. Like, can't imagine that's that way in a lot of other places. So
I want to get you in and put you in front of a camera and if you can't bear it. That's something to be said about the growth path too. Is if if you if your brokerage wants you to be involved, and it's imperative to be involved, or we're not a team, we're not a big team, not a big brokerage, not a big let's work together, then it makes it really hard. So like, because we're not business owners where we're making a bunch of money off of it. We all have teams too, and that's how we survive. Our brokerage is where we all hang our license, where we all want to, so we all have to help together. So now it's like we all have buy-in. We actually have buy-in to the brokerage. We actually want to see the brokerage grow. We want to see what's next can the brokerage bring. How can we spend the money's brokerage on making it better to serve the community? And so it's imperative, that we have guys like you that have been crazy involved, from running our avionics at the meetings, running our videos, to, running the computer, to, culture kings and culture queens over here. Yeah, we need to put you on a billboard still. But yeah, no, guys, I appreciate you guys coming in and chatting with me. I mean, is there anything that maybe we could ask some questions, because looks like there's a bunch of people on here now. Does any of you guys have any questions for these guys? If you do, just unmute and speak up, because we're not looking at the chat. Anything you guys want to leave too in the meantime?
To circle back on the secret sauce, just like to be real too, like not putting on a facade for clients or anything else out there too. Like, yeah, there is a certain aspect of when you're newer of you do fake it till you make it, because you feel like, oh, I don't know the answer to that question, but I'll get it. But just be yourself and be real, because at the end of the day, that's where you're going to feel the most fulfilled, and it's where you're going to do the best amount of business as well, and serve your clients as best as possible.
Secret sauce, yeah, that's so good.
So true. I feel like agents get sometimes a bad rap because a lot of, or just sales industry in general, like people could tell they're getting sold to, and there's a motivation, from the salesperson that they're trying to make a buck. And I think that's a bad rap that the real estate industry gets. And one thing we always tell people is, hey, I'm not here to get you to sell your home or go buy a new home or get you to do one thing or the other. I'm here to give you enough information so that you can make the best, decision for your family, and give you my expertise. And that's kind of how we go about our appointments and how we interact with clients. Because it's not our decision to make, we're just here to help through the process and, make it easier around this. So that's kind of a long ways for us.
It's an excellent point. Is it a good idea to actually be, when you first talk to someone on the phone and you have them on the phone, because you talked about cold calling, and there's got to be some sort of reason why you now enjoy it. Does it have anything to do with that, with being real with them when you cold call them, like, hey, I'm not here to sell you anything or do anything or make you sell anything. I'm here as a servant. What can I do to help?
It's everything. And that's one game changer I really realized over the last couple of years is anytime I'm like hopping on the dialer or phone, or it could even be a conversation in person, but mostly, on cold calls, oftentimes I'll think about, all right, how do I convert this into how do I convert them to be motivated? And nowadays it's like, I'm not here to convert someone that's not motivated into being a motivated seller. People that are unsure, making them aware of what's happening and what they could do with their house, giving them options is great. But I'm here more so just if you need help, or, I'm just here to provide enough information and help you get to that end, goal of yours. And that goes so much, and they could tell when you're coming from that point of view, rather than, hey, I'm trying to make a sell here for my own benefit.
All of a sudden you have
they could tell
attention.
100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a game changer calling from that perspective for sure.
Yeah. Have you found anything that like, because I'm sure you still get hung up on every once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
How do you deal with that rejection?
On to the next one, man. That goes back to we talk about it all the time. We're not here to convert unmotivated people to motivated. We can't do that.
Yeah.
So if they hang up on us, great. It's on to the next one. We're
It's
just
a time saver.
Yeah, it's a time
Time
saver.
saver, hey?
We're looking for people that actually need our help, and they're out there. And it's a game of large numbers, and we're one step closer to that person that needs our help. So
Yeah.
It's so well said, man. So good.
yeah.
There's got to be questions about that, about cold calling. Holy mackerel. That's kind of go ahead.
Hey, John, you can guess that I'm gonna break in on this one because
Totally.
and it gets to this on that, hey, we're looking for people to convert. Are you then when you say that and you want to move on to the next person, is it something that you do fairly quickly, or do you strive to have conversations and look to, well, okay, maybe not today, but if I come back another time, I'll see whether they're ready at that time.
Yeah.
So again, are you looking for something quick, or are you looking to build?
Yeah, I think number one, just trying to build a relationship, number one, and just seeing what their situation is. So, I mean, oftentimes we'll get hung up in the first 10 seconds of a call, nothing we could do about that, on to the next one. But if we have a conversation, they're willing to open up, the biggest thing is getting them to talk. And we have scripts and stuff that we go by, but getting them to talk, the more they open up about their situation in their life, the more apt they're going to be committed to you, whether they're selling tomorrow or in 3 years from now, right? So kind of gauging their motivation, their situation, where they're at. And sometimes they might not be looking to buy for a while, but it's a good at least connection to have. They have friends and family, and then setting them up on a follow-up basis, based on where they're at, right? So it's really depending on how that call goes, but never really looking to make it a quick call. If they're not motivated today, I'm not necessarily trying to hang up on them and go. Also not trying to talk to someone for an hour when I could be talking to others. So being efficient with your calls, but also, if they're talking, creating that connection or relationship with people, whether they're selling tomorrow or not. So there's a good kind of medium to that, kind of gauging the conversation and how it goes.
That's
I'm
good.
not sure if that answered the question.
Totally. Yeah.
Thank you.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Well, and just, I think to touch on that too, just having a level of care too and listening when you're having those conversations, because sometimes you might have somebody and they'll say it kind of jokingly, well, if this property with 2 houses and a pool and a shop came up, I would sell immediately, and go for that.
Yeah.
And then it comes up and you just say, send it with a text, say, hey, saw this property, thought of you. What do you think about it? Or do you want to look at it?
Yeah.
And that goes a long way, because then they're like, wow, that guy actually listened to me. He actually cares.
Actually heard what my needs were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was not just trying to sell me a crappy home over on the bad side of town. He actually listened to what I said.
Yeah, just figuring out people's why. I mean, it's just, okay, you want to upsize, or you want to move to this location. Why are you trying to get over there? Why are you even considering selling? Just figuring out their why. The more we can know about their situation, where they want to go, why they want to go there, that just gives us enough tools to better help them, right? Because oftentimes people that aren't in the real estate, they don't know which direction to go or why they need to go there, or even if they do need to go there. But after talking with us and kind of laying out options, they're like, actually, this might be a problem that comes up in the next year. I should move. So it's those people that may not seem like they're motivated today, but after talking to them, getting their situation out, sometimes they realize that actually I might need to make this move sooner rather than later. So it's opening them up and figuring out why. And that's why I don't call myself a real estate agent. When I talk to people, I call myself a real estate advisor. So I've been doing for the last 2 years.
Yeah, that's good.
Because I'm not an agent, I'm an advisor first. Like, I'm advising you. I don't need to sell your house. But I'm advising you how to go about it. And yeah, I got my real estate license to do so, but I'm here to advise and help first and foremost.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's exactly what it is. You actually have a thing too, that if you're helping somebody over and over again, you're the number one person, they're going to feel a little bit of, we call social guilt, if they go and use someone else when you've been the one giving them all the advice for 2-3 years, right? We want them to know we're here for them. We're here to help them, and that's so good. Very good. All right. Unless there's any other questions, we're gonna.
Yeah, I had a question for you.
Yeah.
So I'm actually from California, but I live in Idaho now. I've been licensed since 2004. Kind of took a hiatus, moved to Idaho, and I never did cold calls because I was in a sales environment anyway. So, and I still run a division of a company right now, but I'm trying to transition into real estate, and I'm getting ready to hire my replacement, which is a nice, comfortable feeling. But just a question: what is your I call it disarming approach and question that you lead in with when you call somebody that you've never talked to before? Because I can talk to anybody, but a home is different. It's a totally different entity. It's trying to sell a widget to somebody is different than trying to talk to them about probably their biggest purchase in their lifetime. or making the biggest purchase in their lifetime. So give me some idea, if you don't mind, when you do get somebody on the phone that's interested in taking a few minutes. I'm a disarming kind of person, and I don't ask yes or no questions. I kind of get them to talk, even though it sounds like I'm talking a lot right now. But I try to get them to talk about their life. So give me an example, if you can, just kind of how you get to that point, and give me a success story, if you don't mind.
There you go. That's good.
Yeah, kind of a leading question, I guess, when we're cold calling. The leading question we start off with is, and the biggest thing is tonality, is coming across as curious rather than monotone, because we're not seeing them face to face. So tonality is huge when you're calling on the phone. But a question I start off with is, hey, hey, John, I'm more so curious, man. Do you have any particular long-term plans with this property, or have you considered moving from this property, now or in the future? That's kind of the leading question, out the gate. And then, from there, assuming they're interested or whatnot, if they are, I mean, it's always getting down to the why. So awesome, man. Well, why are you looking to move from this property, and where are you going, and getting the where, when, why, and just being curious throughout the whole process. Because it's crazy, the curious tonality goes a long ways. You're saying the same thing, but more monotone or straightforward. And it sounds like you're just trying to get to a point and trying to make it sell. So tonality is huge when cold calling. And I'm super transparent. Once we get to if they're interested or not, it's like, hey, awesome, man. Well, I'm a real estate advisor. I help buy and sell, throughout Tulare County. More so here to just kind of give you enough information to make your decision easier. And depending on how that conversation goes, then trying to set up an appointment to meet with them in person. But that's kind of the leading question we start off with cold calls. And if any of you guys need help with scripts, I'm sure, Sean, you have a bunch. We have some too.
Oh yeah.
It'd be good to have something to kind of freshen you up, to kind of reshape that types of conversations. I always leave it with, if you're not interested now, what's got to change in the future for you to want to be interested, or to make you want to move. I mean, it's like I said before, it's whether you're selling a widget to somebody, you got to get them to self-realize that they actually need it. Okay, so I just think that I'm in Idaho. I don't have a lot of contacts here, so I'm kind of building from square one. Even though I'm starting to see some people from California, I'm getting some referrals.
I always say, like, your biggest fans are your SOI. It doesn't matter if they're in the Philippines.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter where they're at, because they know somebody that's going to move where you can get a referral out of it, or possibly actually help because they're in your area. So your sphere of influence, your circle of influence, it doesn't matter. It's in California. That's a big pool. Who do they know? They're going to be the ones introducing you to people in Idaho. Your people in California, because they all know people in Idaho. You're one of them, right?
My entire neighborhood's from California, so.
Oh yeah. All your SOI, where you come from, your sphere of influence. I mean, that's easy to say. I mean, do you guys pay for team leads? Do you pay for leads?
Yeah,
A little bit.
Sometimes.
So tell me, what's your percentage of sales per year? Is it SOI, team leads? What is it? What is your highest sales?
Always SOI.
Always SOI.
Yeah,
About,
always
what do you say, 90%?
Yeah.
It's pretty common.
Easily.
80, 90?
80 to 90.
Same thing, Austin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. All SOI.
Yeah. The two you did, probably their SOI, or maybe team lead, or your SOI.
One of them was a cold call.
One of them was a cold call.
Yeah.
So you're at a 50-50 right
No,
now.
it was one was you helped me with one of my SOI, and then the other one was a sign call that he converted.
Nice.
Yeah,
Good job,
so,
man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, your SOI is typically the biggest push to your business. So when you have you're building that database in Idaho, focusing on your biggest fans. And that could be if you joined a new church when you moved to Idaho, or your neighborhood, your neighborhood. I drove through my daughter's neighborhood yesterday, and she might be on here. Don't get mad at me. But 2 doors down was a different sign, and it wasn't hers. And I know she's been wanting to work on her neighborhood and has been working on her neighborhood. So I'm sure she's really frustrated about that. Who isn't frustrated when a different sign goes up in your neighborhood?
Always. I get so, it gets me.
Yeah.
It gets me. There's been 4 houses that have sold in my neighborhood since I moved in.
Gosh.
I did not list any of them.
There's
I
4
brought a buyer to
realtors
one
in
of
my
them.
neighborhood that have not sold the last 5 homes that are here. They've been outside Most of them are being sold by the people that originally sold them their house, which is the way it's supposed to be, in my opinion.
Yeah.
As long as they did a good job, you know,
As long
so,
as they do a good job keeping in touch with them, right?
yeah.
But if not, that's you. I mean, if you're the one keeping in touch with them, you're the one, going over there, knocking on the door, talking to them, then there's a real good chance that might not be there. You might be that new person because you did such a good job. Agents fail in that. That
Oh, yeah.
follow-up, checking in on their house, seeing how it's going. 6 months later, 3 months later, 1 month later, you escalate it to no longer than 6 months. That's a fail in a lot of realtors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I picked up a lead yesterday, the guy that hung my Christmas lights. I'm at the point in my life where I don't like climbing on the roof.
Yeah.
I picked, they're looking for some property or so, and his son's looking to buy a house. So I actually picked up two. And that's
awesome.
it's just I talk to everybody about it. So, I mean, always have a card in your pocket, and the young guy right there, be a sponge. Just learn from the people that have been successful. My first brokerage was Coldwell Banker. Most of the agents were in their 60s and 70s, but they had done, it was Clovis Realty before. And I just sat next to them and listened to them and just.
What realty? What area are you from?
I'm from Clovis.
Clovis. Yeah, I thought you said Clovis Realty. I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, yeah, you're not
Coldwell Banker bought them years ago, and I signed on with Coldwell Banker after that. And I was Keller Williams. I still have a license at Keller Williams there in Fresno.
Well, we need to transfer that over to Legacy. We cover all of Fresno. We need you over here, man. Need to join our group.
Well, let's make it happen.
Make it happen. Let's talk about it. Yeah, because then these guys right here, that's why we do a lot of this, especially with Idaho and California, is these guys become your partner. Now you know them really well. You've been chatting with them.
Yeah.
So you end up having we have a really good reciprocating partnership between California and Idaho because we're all part of the same bubble. Homes of Idaho and Legacy are under the same bubble. So I get people from Legacy all the time calling me and saying, hey, do you cover this part of Idaho? And I'm like, yep, sure do. So, I mean, it's good. You can make really good friends over here. You get to join the sales meeting over here and be part of it. So then half these people, so you can unmute and speak up in the sales meeting and say, hey guys, don't forget about us over here in Idaho. It's pretty neat. Yeah, we're here. You guys got any referral partners? So you get to have 200 agent referral partners over here.
Yeah. How do you share your contact information on there? Are you guys going to put it in a chat, or is it in the invite or somewhere?
For my information,
Or for I want to partner with the whole group.
There you go. Love it. If you have a pen, I'll give you my email address real quick, and then
what is it?
give me an email, and I'll give you my phone. That's probably the easiest way, or my phone number too. So
Either way.
Sean, SHAWN at Cardoza, regroup.com. And then you can use my Idaho number 208-908-3803. And just, let's connect. Perfect.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate it.
Awesome, for sure. Thanks for speaking up, Marty. Appreciate it. And it's Marty?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for speaking up. Awesome.
Yeah, and I want to make a real quick, the corporate real estate companies, the Homes of Idaho, totally different atmosphere. I mean, and I didn't realize how many agents they actually have.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible. I've been on a call where there's 60 people on it, but they don't act like they're one of the corporate companies.
That's always the best.
Not at all. Yeah, that is the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't really act like it because they're doing so much in the community. Colby and Cassie, and they really do kind of like they bought a short bus, and they wrapped it in Homes of Idaho, and they hit every parade that goes on in the area with that bus. So that's why I kept telling, Jenny here over at Legacy, we need a bus. And they take the agents on there, and they're passing out candy out the window. The kids are, and they're going in and out of the bus and giving candy on the sides. And it's a lot of fun when you have that community within your work. And then it's not really work anymore, right? This is community.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they also have a 4-seater or 4-door off-road vehicle on a trailer. So if you have to go and take somebody off-road a little bit to go see some property, you just hook it up to your truck and haul it out there and throw them in there and take them off there. And you don't let them get back in the truck until they sign the deal.
There you go. That's right. That's awesome.
Just leave them out in the middle of nowhere. I'll come get you when the contract's signed.
Looks like somebody's walking back.
Yeah. Somebody's
Wait, guys,
walking.
I gotta jump here. I wanted to chime in. I like this kind of open forum like this.
Yeah.
and just having the conversations and being able to discuss. And it's nice. I didn't realize you guys were in California until I started hearing Tulare and Central
Mhm.
Coast and all that stuff. And I'm going, okay,
Yeah.
that sounds real familiar to me. So,
Well,
but I
we'll be
appreciate your
swap-
time, and
we'll
I'll
be
get in touch
swapping
with you.
Back and forth. Next week is Mackenzie Brogdon with she's an Instagram queen. So she gets listings all the time and sales all the time on social media. I'll be in Idaho, and we're gonna have Mackenzie come in and chat. So jump on next week. That'll be
You
a good
got
one
it.
too.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of the day.
For sure.
Yeah.
And guys, anything you want to leave everyone before we end it? Appreciate this. It's awesome.
Just finish the year strong.
Mhm.
Get ready for 2025.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that in January.
No, got
Um,
business plan down now.
and
right?
if it is quote unquote slower right now, use that time to get ready.
Get
Yeah.
prepared.
Yeah.
Start the habits now so that they're set in motion in January.
That's it. Yeah, focus on your daily habits and your actions more than the outcome. The
Mhm.
outcome will come.
Totally. It'll be there.
Yep.
Set the actions based on the activities, not on the escrow. Right.
Amen.
Yep.
Totally.
Amen.
All right. Thanks, guys. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. Chat
See you guys.
soon.